Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting one of my recent games played on ICCF. I'm very close to becoming an international master in correspondence chess, and that's why I find less and less time for chess videos these days. And it's very sad really, because I enjoy doing these chess videos. So today I finally had some time to do a chess video on one of my recent games, and I'm white against a player rated 2250. I'm almost 2400 these days, and he plays the Sicilian Najdorf, and once again I play my 6H3 system, which I guess you have seen in other videos. And let's see what happened. E4, C5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, a6, and this h3. And black has a variety of ways to play against this h3 system. My opponent in this game opted for a quick d5 break, which is known to equalize fairly easily, but things are not always that simple. But anyways, he played e6, g4 and d5. And previously, when I started playing the h3 system, I used to play bishop g2, but after knight takes, d takes, bishop takes, e5, and then after a queen exchange, it's very hard to prove any advantage for either side. So bishop g2 is not the best move. The best move here is e takes d5, knight takes d5, knight d to e2. And here bishop b4, which my opponent did play in the game, is the logical move. An alternative was to take on c3, but a line like this, black has activated his problem bishop at the cost of the right to castle, and white is slightly ahead in development, so I still think this is slightly better for white, but it is an alternative, I would say. But bishop b4 was the move played, and bishop g2. And note here that white has absolutely nothing against exchanges on c3. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, king takes, b takes c. Because practice here has shown that this endgame offers fairly good chances for white, despite the damaged pawn structure on the queen side. Because he has the more active pieces and he has the bishop pair, and this has won white quite a few games in positions like this. My opponent castled, so did I, and he played knight takes c3, and again bishop takes c3, b takes, queen c7 has been tried, but white's pieces are very active, and black is struggling developing his pieces. Queen e7 was the move played, and bishop f4, and black, he also here has some problems developing his pieces, and the white bishops are dominating the board. And how should black continue from here? Because it's not that easy, because now a move like bishop takes c3 would fail to bishop d6. And bishop d7, well, then I simply take on b7, and a move like e5 would fail to knight d5. So I think a move like knight c6 is possible. I don't think I would have given up my bishop for the knight playing bishop c6 here. I would not have done that. I would probably have played bishop h2, queen f3, rook a d1, something like this. But in the game, my opponent didn't play knight c6. He played f5 instead, trying to open the f-file, and there's this unprotected bishop on f4, sorry. So I simply played bishop h2 right away, and here black could have taken on g4, playing knight c6. That was clearly an alternative, but he just played knight c6 immediately. I took at f5, and now he cannot take back here because knight d5 and knight b6, and this poor rook is out of the game and white is having a clear advantage. So he has to go queen f7. I went knight d5 and anyways, and this is a small tactic here, because obviously he cannot take on e5, because then the queen is pinned to the king. But he could have perhaps have played rook d8, and this would be complicated stuff. The computer think white is having a slight advantage after taking here, giving up the bishop. And now, of course, black cannot play knight takes b4, because then rook d8 check. The queen has to go between. But after queen h5, f5, sorry, knight takes, rook d8, rook d6. Here, the computer think white has an advantage. I'm not sure if that's true, but so that was clearly an alternative for black, I would say. But he didn't play rook d8. Instead, he played bishop a5. And now I took on e6, and black recaptured with the bishop, and now he has activated his problem bishop, but at the cost of a pawn. I played c4 here, and if in this position rook a d8, then a move like queen a4, I think. But he played queen g6, bishop g3, and again rook a d8 would be met by queen a4. He played rook a to e8, and now I play a3, intending b4, not only to harass the bishop, but also to start advancing the pawn majority on the queen side. He went queen h6, threatening h3, forcing me to play king h2, and now he can play his bishop to d2 before I play b4. I played b4 anyway. He played rook back to d8 and rook a2, bishop g5, f4, bishop f6, rook d2. And I think now that we can say that white is having an advantage here. He has activated all his pieces and he is pawn up. But on the other hand, black has also activated his pieces, but they are probably not quite as coordinated as the white pieces. So white is having the advantage. King h8, rook e8, e1, and it is an advantage, but I'm not sure if it's decisive yet. But I would say it's close to be decisive. Rook e3, bishop to h4, exchange of bishops, and I offer an exchange of queens, but that would bring my pawns back together, and that would lead to an even more decisive advantage. I could play king g3, rook e to d3, and so on. Easy to play for white. He went queen h6. I went c5, rook f to e8, rook takes, bishop takes, rook d3, queen g6, and now we exchange queens, and I play rook e3, bishop c2, knight e7, and bishop a4, and now bishop takes. Now I give up my last bishop, and because bishop takes here, knight takes, b takes is clearly winning for white because of the weak black pawns on the queen side. But also after b takes c6, black cannot defend his weak pawns. The c6 pawn is hanging now. He played bishop b5. I took the pawn. He gave a check here, and gave his king an escape route. Knight e5, rook a2, rook e7, and if rook takes a3 here, then king h4. He plays something like a5. I can take. He can take. I can play c6. If he goes back with the rook c7, and now the rook is passive for black, and I can simply play my king up and take the h7 pawn and have a clearly winning position, and even be able to mate my opponent in some lines. So he went rook c2, but again king h4, and my king can simply start walking against the h7 pawn. He tries to play king g8, rook a7, h6, and then I took the pawn on g6, and now I'm 3 pawns up, and this position is hopeless, and therefore my opponent resigned in this position. And I would like to thank you for watching this video. It's been a long time since I did my last video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on my chess website at klausjensen.com. Bye bye for now.